Alright, so in today's video, I got every trophy on Astro's Playroom. This is the OG game that comes with a PS5 upon purchase. Literally everyone has it. I'm pretty sure everyone has played it, and if you haven't, you're either stupid, an Xbox user, or you just didn't, I guess. You're lost, bozo. Anyways, Astro's Playroom is the first game I ever got a trophy on way back 3 years ago when I bought my PS5 and made my PlayStation account. And since then, the good old ItsIlusionexe account has amassed over 11,800 trophies. I don't even want to know how many times I've uttered the word trophy. Criminal charges should be brought upon me. But Astro's Playroom has a pretty famous DLC trophy list, which I was unaware of when first doing it, and it contains a total of 51 trophies, with 8 of them being from the DLC list. The first pack is entirely about speedrunning for the most part, with a few side trophies, and the second pack is entirely about finding these extra secret bots hidden very well within certain levels and almost impossible to find on your own without amazing YouTube tutorials. Anyways, this is also a part of my ongoing challenge where I'm trying to 100% my profile on PlayStation, containing over 140 non-completed games, and the goal is to do it before the channel hits 1.15 million subscribers. So if you want to speed up the challenge, making it harder, then drop a like and subscribe. So kicking it off today, the first pack I chased down was that speedrun pack because I was honestly just lost as to what I needed to do. This game didn't have any DLC that needed to be bought after it was already installed. It just came in as an update, I'm pretty sure, and it was just inside the game waiting for me to initiate it. So I tried to actually do that special bot trophy first, but the thing just wouldn't show up at the first spot, and I assumed I needed to do something to trigger it. The guide also does say that I had to finish a level first, and I guess I didn't do that. Oh my god! But I ended up finally finding this level inside of the 1994 throwback portal below the main CPU hub. Now, I could have sworn I did this level already way back when I first made the video on this game's platinum, but apparently I didn't do that. Now, I actually do think I kind of did do this, but just skipped the credits part at the end, which is needed as far as I know, but that's besides the point. The 1994 throwback level first began with us just doing some platforming against basic-ass enemies for a little while, but after heading upwards into the dark abyss that is this game's render distance, you reach a boss battle against a lower resolution T-Rex, which is, I believe, a nod to the 1994 Astro game, hence the throwback aspect of what we're doing here today. But all you have to do to win the fight is dodge its attacks, and then once it gets stuck in the floor, just hit it in its eye where it sparkles oh so pretty like. However, after winning the fight, big boy T-Rex shows up again, and this is the same dude I think I remember battling before in the normal game, but again, I might just be mixing up the games I've played. This happens when you play everything, and I mean everything. My brain is full of video game mush that has knowledge swimming around like these sperm cells in my balls awaiting arrival. Great movie, by the way. That's what I'm saying. But this fight against the new resolution T-Rex pretty much functioned the same way aside from some minor changes as you would expect. He shot lasers out of his eyes. His chomp attack was much larger scale, taking up half the board instead of just a lane or two. And you also only can do damage by waiting until these relics appear in the corners of the map after his onslaught of attacks. Then just pick them up and throw them at him to stun him. And furthermore, do that same attack on his eyes the previous fight. Repeat that enough times and eventually you get to pull his tongue like it's the Vanilla Unicorn VIP special to send him off to the afterlife below. Looking up to us forever now, Mr. T-Rex. F you. I'll see you on October 21st though, for real. Anyways, the level isn't over because there is then these credits scene where the credits get sent right at you and you need to jump or just hit them to break them and not fall off, getting the same fate as T-Rex Man. This is also the point in which I think I just quit the level in the past. Again, I'm not sure, but I did stick it out this time despite wanting to, and I mean deeply wanting to quit. After making it through all the credits, real ones do play, which are obviously meant to be skipped, and then you get one more scene showing us going through this ethereal place and gathering a bunch of new artifacts we earned from that throwback fight. And at this point, I also did officially realize that, oh hey, I actually am doing new stuff. Best advice, boys and girls, don't put a 3-year gap between finishing a game's trophies. You will be more confused than when she just leaves one night to never come back. Real as f. Anyways, after grabbing all the artifacts and making it to the ending, I finally got the trophy from this level being called Play Has No Limits from clearing the game and getting the new gen artifacts. Now that's one of 3 trophies in this first DLC pack, with the other one being called Gravity Days. Now I said that one with a little bit more anger because it has a little exclamation point at the ending, and grammar is important. Always remember that. It can be the difference between life and death. But this trophy was just from gathering 10 CPU bots by punching them around the area or more, and then going above the CPU chip and then hitting the glass to then get punched ourselves for such rebellious attitude. And here's a trophy pop. Now that's 2 of 3 in this pack finished with. The final trophy called Astro Run that took a bit more effort. Not necessarily more time, however, because your boy is goated, but it's that famous speedrun trophy from doing these 8 levels. It gives us in under 7 minutes, meaning on average we needed to do each level in under 52.5 seconds to get the trophy. And almost all of them can be done even faster than that, into the 40s for that matter. But starting off with the first level, I did fuck up a little bit on it in like 2 spots. I was also not sure of how it was laid out at all, so this was a blind run. But I ended finishing with a minute almost on the dot. Now that's cool and all, don't get me wrong, but that's not what we are after. Remember, 52 seconds and less is our standards. The Gordon Ramsay quality check, if you will. Now on my next few attempts, I was being very strict, and if I messed up no matter what it was, I did an instant reset. Truly no mercy. My poor Astro character must have felt like Sisyphus during this bullshit, but he'll get over it.
Oh my god!
Because I eventually did nail a good run, and I didn't have to restart immediately due to my negligence. And I landed a score of 51 and some change seconds. Gordon Ramsay approved, and we move on. That first level was also called Mountain Run, by the way. The second one was then called Space Run, and it took place in space. I know, hold the applause. This illusion is a genius, but no man deserves this much praise. I'm literally talking to myself in a room. I'm halfway to schizo. What the hell is my existence? But anyways, the space run level was very easy and simple. It didn't really have any puzzle portions or anything much for that matter. There was one single part where I was slow, but I still finished with a 53-second time, so I actually just moved on. No Gordon Ramsay appeal this time, but hey, my hope was that other levels would take far less time and it would even out. All things perfectly balanced, as they say. So I did the third level, being the frozen run, and being all about doing parkour on frozen ice. Almost as cold as my heart after all these platinums. There is nothing left. And this level was, you know, a bit more challenging than those prior ones, just because of the addition of water killing us upon dipping our feet in like we're a possessed bitch-ass witch from the fairy tales. And Lord knows I'm not a fan of ice parkour in games. PTSD on God. But this level is shockingly short and fast, even with the ice death looming over our heads, which led me to nailing it out on a successful run with a time of just 45 seconds. Definitely evening out the past run, and the Gordon Ramsay approval has been earned. So the next level was then the Stormy Run, being a level inside a storm. I don't even know why I'm bothering to explain these levels. They are literally just what they're called. You love to see it. But this level was just inside of a cloud, I think, and it also featured a lot of new threats and hazards to our run, being platforms that flip over, getting squashed by big giant blocks, electricity returning to fry our nut hairs off, and yes, I did die to every single one of those. It's all a part of learning, okay? But I finally did a successful run, and I got a time of like 54 seconds, which was good enough for me, so I moved on to the next level. And the fifth one was called Climbing Run. Now this level type is the most fun in my opinion, just because it requires actual effort in real life to move the controller in sporadic directions. But I also did forget at first how the mechanics function, so I kind of just died a lot and had to learn the ropes again. But the level is also very, very forgiving, and I still managed to get a time of about 48 seconds on a new try with only minor knowledge on how the mechanics function after about 3 years of absence. Hashtag fuck clankers in the chat. Anyways, level 6 was the jetpack run level, giving us a jetpack, obviously. And this one was a bit odd. You just use the jetpack the entire time, and it's also in a 2D view, which is the first and only time this happened in the game as far as I remember. So it's very, very random. Again, though, the level was very easy and simple. I did it without any trouble, and I got a time of 49 seconds, which was below the required time. So yeah, I then moved on to the 7th level, and it was called the Hopping Run. Another very odd level format, having us take form of this weird little hopping shit that has less movement than Fat Zion Williamson. But even though it was weird as hell and goofy ass shit, I did still get a good time on the level, and I finished with 58 seconds, which actually isn't that good in second thought. So the final level is then called the Rolling Run, and it had us playing as a big ball sack just rolling around the level. Probably the most annoying level in terms of gameplay, because it's entirely controlled by just swiping on the touchpad, which is kind of unreliable at times with its mechanics working when they want to. But long story short, I ended up getting the hang of it. I finished it with a time of 49 seconds after quite a few tries, and that was enough to get me below the 7 minutes with Detroit popping right here. My actual final time, which I didn't see till after, was 6 minutes and 50 seconds. Just by the skin of my foreskin, I finished the DLC pack. Anyways, we move on. The next DLC pack, being just called Pack 2, was much easier in terms of difficulty. Just literally go and find 4 new bots around 4 random levels or areas that they were on, being the GPU Jungle, SSD Speedway, Cooling Springs, and Memory Meadow. I also did follow guides for the entirety of this pack, so shout out to these dudes that made the videos on them, because Lord knows I was never finding them without them. But once I did find the GPU Jungle bot, which was in reference to Bloodborne, which I want to platinum so bad, by the way, I got the trophy from finding it right here. I then went to the SSD Speedway and I found the bot there, which I'm honestly not sure what it's referencing. I feel like I know it, like it's on the tip of my penis right now, but I just can't put my finger on it because that's gay. But hey, the trophy still popped, and let's move on. Bro cannot be making these dumbass jokes in a million subs. We are never beating the allegations. Anyways, and then went to Cooling Springs, which was the next area, and the special about here I did know, it was the legendary Gran Turismo character preset guy thing. I guess that really isn't a Gran Turismo character, more just an aura. Revenge Platinum is coming soon, by the way. I just gotta get through the new games dropping this month, on God. Oh yeah, here's the Troy Pop, by the way. Anyways, the final bot was then on Memory Meadow, and it was none other than the monkey from Super Monkey Ball 3D. And if this isn't that fucking monkey, then goddamn, I look stupid. I never played it, I'm not gonna lie, I am sorry. But hey, here's the trophy pop and also the trophy from finding all the bots in the game that are special needs. Also, I do want to say sorry for not explaining how to actually get them all. You can find videos of it on YouTube, I just have no clue how you do it, which is why I watch the guides. And I don't feel right explaining how you do something that somebody else explained to me. If we continue this trail, it's like the game of telephone, and eventually somebody's just gonna try to fly planes into a tower. But yeah, that was the Astro's Playroom DLC trophies completed with, and in turn 100% on the game itself. Overall, I love the game. I really wish I could go back and play them raw without memory of the Astro games. They are such a vibe and really the most basic fun you can have in gaming. I'm also legitimately about to shit myself, so I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching. Oh,